Hey, Stacy. I am trying to figure this out right quick. To get a little bit better, more Jackie. I'm gonna let a few come in, and then I will start my talk. So I'm learning how to do all of this. This is like my second day doing the YouTube live. So this is a learning experience for me as well. So just deal with me. 'Cause I suppose it's probably going to go on a replay as well. Let me let them know. So I'm waiting for them to come over, and they will be here in just a minute. And then I want to talk about some information. I have been good. How about you? Hey, Mama Bella. Have a little bit of trust in me. Hey, Crime Time. Only aspirin because I got a headache. Oh, Stacey, I hope you feel better. So I'm going to talk about what my life says about human trafficking in silence. When you come across an organized crime, people find a way to silence you. There is always strength in numbers. I know people who are parents that would not tolerate anything like this ever happening to their children. And sometimes it takes the smallest person to roar like a tiger to get people out there and to get people to help. As I said the other day in my live on Facebook, me and my team, we hold liable, credible evidence on what we have found, what we have uncovered. I'm not going to give that information out because that needs to go to some higher ups on what we have uncovered. We do know without a doubt that there is corruption going on over there in these little areas where Summer Wells has gone missing. There's a couple of areas over there. I have reached out to Duty Ron, and I have reached out to EquiSearch to no prevail. I was left on red with Duty Ron. Hello, Julia. I did give him viable information. He, I guess it just wasn't important enough. So now I put his name in there. So for the people that are threatening my people, yeah, I did send that to Duty Ron. What we were told that we had to be quiet. So he actually has that information. But he did leave me on red, and it really irritates me that We are sitting here and we have been boots on the ground since June 15th, June 16th. It took a minute to be able to build my team, get my team safe, and get the people that needed to be in the team that's able to pull the information, that's able to be eyes, that's able to be boots on the ground, that's able to do the terrain. So we have put a very strong team together. Now this team has been being threatened because we are way too close, and we have stumbled upon some very bad stuff that's within this county, and that's being hidden. There are big players that are involved in this. I do hold evidence. I am not putting it up on YouTube because it don't belong on the YouTube world. It belongs in a U.S. Marshal's hands. It belongs in Donald Trump's hands, Donald Trump Jr.'s hands, OUR hands. It belongs in their hands. I was hoping and praying. Our team had a lot of faith in Duty Ron, a lot of faith, because there was so much talk about all of this, and we had so much faith in him. And to have a blind eye turned on us when we hold this evidence, and I even sent him a couple of pictures of the evidence that we came across. So we're not joking around. We're not playing. We have done this. I wanted to get in touch with EquiSearch because I do have a pinpoint location, and I'm going to be straight up right now. The last 2 weeks, I did lie. I was telling you West Virginia, and I was telling everybody West Virginia. I did that for one reason and one reason only, because of all these other fake psychics out here that are stealing my information. So I led them on a wild goose chase, but we already knew where we were at. I wanted to give that information to Dave Radar while he was here, and again, totally shut down. Just literally shut down. And to me, this almost makes me feel yes, this information is necessary. This to me almost totally makes me feel that everybody is in cahoots and they don't give a crap about finding this baby girl. They really don't. Everybody talks a big talk and a big game, but when you've got little people like us out there doing everything that we are doing to bring this baby home, and we're giving it to people and giving it to people, we learned that we cannot give it to the TBI, and we learned that we cannot give it to that area. We can't give it to them because it gets lost. But yet, with this information getting lost, you have people in different counties that are on a seat going and threatening my team members. Now you've got other people that are sort of like trying to spook my team members to let them know that they know me. I'm not about it. I can care less what height of a seat that you are in. I can care less if you are in law enforcement. If you are breaking the law and you are hiding the corruption in your county, because I got stuff on you as well. We've done pulled you. And I'm trying to figure out with a felony while this person is still sitting in a seat and is leading this county. I'm trying to figure out while sexual predators, that's a mandatory 20-year sentence in this county, get out within 2 to 3 years and don't serve a full sentence of 20 years. This is what I'm trying to figure out. That is corruption. Any parent in this county needs to watch their children. And I will say it again, because they are plucking them like cotton on a cotton field. They are looking for blonde-haired, blue-eyed children for a reason. And if you've got a blonde-haired, blue-eyed child, you need to keep that child on your hip at all times. Whether it be a female, whether it be a male. Rather it be 1 to 2 years old on up to age 18 on up. Because when you get into your 18-year-olds, they're kidnapping these females to take care of these younger children. That's what's called a ring of human trafficking or human sacrifices. Let's not even get involved in the Satanism that has gone over there in that county. And let's not get involved of the KKK that has gone on over in that county. It's there and it's real. Maybe as people out here in the other world, because we're not so backwards, we don't see it. But this is a backwards county and it's hidden. People are afraid to talk. You need to have strength in numbers. And that is exactly what we are doing, is strength in numbers. I will not be silenced. I've got locals over there right now that are in fear, but we're not going to show no fear. We will not show no fear because we are strong and we are growing stronger by the moment. And we are going to call this Dusty's Army. I already got my team of angels, but we are going to be Dusty's Army because we are going to put people together and we are going to fight together and we are going to turn this town upside down and we are going to scream and holler until people listen. Sorry, let me just read some of the chat. I know I shouldn't. I'm probably going all crazy and stuff. We need to get people involved. We do. And I mean, hopefully, because I get shut down on Facebook. So getting people involved, sharing it out, doing what you need to do is going to fall on the right eyes. They say they monitor YouTube. I didn't create this account, but I'm using my account because I'm not fake. I'm not fake. And I'm not going to hide from anybody neither. I do have a criminology law. I do know how to investigate. Set aside my gift for a little bit because right now it's not even about my gift. Maybe at the beginning it was, but right now it's not because now we have hardcore proof factual evidence. We have it. I mean, this is almost like a plea that we get help. And we get help for this part of Tennessee. And if you can help, please reach out to me. I will give you the information. And I'm not talking to anybody from that area there. I'm talking from the outside. I want to believe that there are good people in that system down there that is willing to go tooth and nail to save these children. Now, I think I confused people the other day on my other live, and they're like, oh, you changed your story. Look, I have not changed my story. I did. I tried to get in touch with Chris McDonough, and when I tried to reach out to him, people put me on silent. They sort of booted me out of the chat room. Like, I thought that was really rude. You know, these people don't really know me, but they think because of my name or because, quote, I'm gifted, that they feel the need that because I ruffled some feathers along the way that now they can just go ahead and boot me out or they don't want anything. But yeah, I remember Chris McDonough asked for a gifted person quite a few weeks ago, and I sent him an email. I have yet to receive an email from Chris McDonough. I left my phone number. I left everything. I have yet to receive that. So to me, It's almost as if it's about views for everybody else, and it's not really coming together to try to find Summer. Now, as I was saying before, because people have, questioned me and they're like, "Oh, did you change your story? Uh, do you think Summer is alive?" No, I don't. I really don't. I do feel that there's culpable negligence on the parents' fault. I don't think that it's anything to do, quote, with the Skittles. I don't think it has anything to do with the orange drink, because I don't feel that that photo that is out there on that day is part of the day that Summer went missing. I remember seeing that photo back in April or March, before Candace did her dump on these photos. So no, I do not believe that that photo is of that day. I do not believe the person in that truck is Grandis. I do not feel it. Also, whenever I spoke to Mr. Wells, I've got it on audio. He got they were left with their jaws wide open, because I actually did question them about it. Why is that seat not wet? Why are the Skittles not demolished? Why is none of that there? I mean, if you're putting a picture up there and they're just coming back from a swimming hole, there's going to be a wet child sitting on a wet seat. You're not going to put a child in a jumpsuit. It just does not make sense. I do not feel that photo is of that day. And I think it's just a big game leading people on, as it has been for the last almost, well, we're at what, 17 weeks today? So it's just a big game. Everybody is lying to everybody, and everybody is covering up everything. Now, I don't even think that Summer went missing on the 15th. I think she went missing 2 days prior. I go for the 13th. After some of the stuff that I have uncovered, I feel she went missing actually on the 13th. That's the day I feel that she went missing. That's not factual. That's just my opinion. I feel that they had to take a couple of days to get some stories straight. Grandis is not innocent neither. But tell you why Grandis is not innocent, because they already knew about what I put up on August 9th that I pissed some other YouTuber off about. I had already put it up on August 9th about the Skittles and the wet seat and everything else that just did not make sense. Mr. Wells decided to comment on my page that day and say, "Oh, you used your head." That's why he said to me that I used my head with logic. So go figure, why would Mr. Wells, daddy to Summer Wells, write that on my page? And we actually have that in a screenshot, that it did come from Mr. Wells' page, and it was Mr. Wells himself, because I have communicated with Mr. Wells. And I do have his conversations on audio. That CPS report that supposedly is leaked, I don't think that it is leaked. I think that somebody else made that up. A cop or a CPS official, especially a cop, they take an oath, but it's so crooked over there anyway. I mean, there is a good possibility it is leaked. Um, I sort of lost my train of thought. I mean, there's a good possibility that there was something that was leaked. Um, I will have to discuss that with my moderators. I want to give that actually to the FBI, but I do have that, a few of the audios. So I would have to discuss that with my team to see if it's all right to release a few things just to prove, yes, that I have actually had contact with him. And it's 2 occasions that I have had contact. It's a good possibility, because that's some very shocking stuff that came out. If it is, we do not know. And if it is, and this stuff is out here now in the real world and put those 3 minors at risk, shame on the person for doing this, because it should not have went out on the YouTube world, and it should have not went out anywhere. These are minor children that we are talking about that have been through hell, and they need to be protected. There's 4 minors that are in play here. One of these minors are not coming home. I mean, bless her heart if she did, but it should not have gone on YouTube. It should not be out there in this world. It should be kept at a secret level for these children. Who was drinking tea and watching the curtain fall? Um, I will get a clip, but it's not going to be anything that's going to be pertinent to the investigation. But we'll get a little clip just so you can see. It will probably be about me and Mr. Wells talking about God. I will share that little bit of tip there because I did talk a lot with him about God, because I'm a godly person. I'm a God-fearing woman. I do go to church. There's a lot that I do. I center my life around God. So he wanted to talk to me about God, and I let him talk to me about God. And some of the things he was telling me was not out of the Bible. So I had to correct him and talk to him about what was out of the Bible. Thank you, Bobby Rocks. It's doing good. I agree, Mama Bella. You know, they are supposed to be classified. You cannot see a minor child's report and then leaking it out on the internet. One, it puts these 3 minors in children, or it puts these 3 minors in danger. 2, the person that leaked this, and quote, the higher up level that they are in, there is an oath that they took, and they should have known better to put that out there. I mean, you just cannot put that out there. I do. I doubt it. I feel, and I've said it before, he hides behind God. He takes the nitpicks that he wants to use them, but the way that he uses God, in talking about falling angels, it's not the right way. He's not, it's almost not even Christianity of what his belief is. And quote, he complains, like he don't want quote psychics or anybody else on his property or whatever, but yet he's coming to me. Why was he coming to me? He hasn't now because I flat out put it out there. I'm done dealing with it. I'm done playing this game. I'm not going to fall in the mess of playing the game with everybody. I want this child found. That's all I want, and that is all I'm going to do. So I'm not going to give away the location that I have, but it is in Hawkins County. It is in Hawkins County. It is not in West Virginia. Like I said, I just gave that. I just put that out there for the other psychics that were still in my information. I put that out there for them to go and say that this baby was in West Virginia. But she's never been in West Virginia. We know I don't know exactly, but I know where Summer has led us. And we've been there. One of my search teams has broken his foot going to this place because it is rough terrain. But we are going to find her. Now, do I feel that there was SA going on? Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Do I also feel that Jose is still in this area? 100%. And I also think that he is one of the ringleaders in the human trafficking. Eyes were set on him. Now, I didn't create this YouTube or whatever for views. I didn't create it for subscribers. I didn't create it for any of that. I am here for one reason, because Facebook gets shut down. I've never had a strike in my life on Facebook, but boy, I'm getting them. And because people don't like what I'm saying, well, touche. If the shoe fits, wear it. Or as Donnie said the other day, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I've always said that to my children growing up. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And that is so true. Now, do I feel that Summer Wells is in a well? I don't. I don't think that she is underground or on the Underground Railroad. I don't think that she is in the Tweetsy area. I don't think she is around there anywhere. She is around her home within a 20-mile radius. She is in Hawkins County. But I'm not saying that it's not possible that other children that we have set our eyes on, 5 kids that we tried to save and we couldn't do it, because when we tried to save those 5 children and let, quote, the authorities know about those 5 children, that supposedly one was Summer. I don't think it was Summer. It could have been another little girl with her head shaved in a yellow dress. They were spotted an hour prior. Eyes were laid on them. We confirmed it with pictures and everything else, and we called the TBI. It was called. No, I don't, Julia. I listened to a little bit of it, and I can't validate it all. It's completely back and forth. There's a lot of back and forth. Um, I stay with what I have said from day one. I'm not changing anything of what I've said from day one. I've never changed it. I've kept it the way that it is, and it's not changing. Um, After it was reported, is the following day, one of my team members got a threat. And I'm making it clear up here why my team members are getting threatened, so that we are covered as well. If anything is to happen to any of my team members, it's going to come out of these counties. It's going to be people out of these counties, because they are in danger. Because we know the leak of my team member's address, the leak of my team member where they live, the leak came out of the police department. It came from nowhere else other than these three people in this police department. Which one is the crook? I don't know. If it's one or all three, I don't know. I want to believe in my heart that one of them is a parent and loves their children with all their might. And I want to believe that they are fighting on the same page that we are fighting on. There's just a part of me that wants to believe it, because there's something going on in these police departments, and it's going to be a hard ass fight. And if they care, they will get my team member in protection. They know who this person is. They will make sure that they do roll-bys. They will make sure that that they are protected. And it's not just one, it's a couple of them. But this one has been in, and the information has been leaked. Skippy, that I know you're new to the channel and everything. To say that some psychics are fraudulent, there are good people. I'm not want to change the subject, but there, of course, you've got people that are greedy, and they claim to quote be psychics, and they'll go out and they will charge you X amount of money and tell you everything that you want to hear. And they're scamming you whenever they're like, oh, I need a little bit more to give you more information. I need a little bit more for this. I need a little bit more for that. Let's do a cleanse of a spiritual cleanse. And I'm going to charge you 200 X amount dollars. And I need a chicken and a chicken foot with blood and black salt to do a cleanse on you. So you bring me all of this and I will do this cleanse of magical whatever. So yes, there are fraudulent psychics out there. Like I've said before, and I will say it again, if you have to go to school to get a certificate to say I am a psychic and to run a business to say I am a psychic, then you're not a psychic. You are just being a fraud, and you are claiming to people that you are a psychic when that is not the truth. You are the people that quote are gifted. They are born with this gift. It usually comes with empathy, and that is being able to feel other people's energy, their emotions, whatever they are feeling. Then you get into a deeper sense where you're able to see what's going to happen to them. Those are usually your clairvoyants, and those that can see through the third eye and be able to put images together. I've always called it a gift because in the Bible, it does state about necromancy. So these are those that bear false witness. Now, even though it's in the Bible with a necromancy, there's also where God hands out gifts to those. It's not, quote, the chosen ones, because none of us are chosen, but God will choose you to give a message. And if you need to give a message, this is usually a gift that you will be given. And I was born this way. I've had my gift my whole life. It's something that I've done really my whole life. I've got a lag going on, and I don't know why. There's a lag. I don't know if I got caught up. Is it slow on y'all's end? Because I'm like totally freezing. Amen, Linda. Yeah. Hi, Josephine. The UK. Yay. Yes. I froze there for a while. I don't know why. Usually, being an imp, you're right, Skippy. Um, Being an imp, you sort of you're able to pick up on people's emotions. It doesn't mean that you know everything about them. Usually because you're able, like, I am a strong imp. I have to protect. I can pick up on your emotion. I can pick up on your energy. I can pick up on animals. I can pick up on Mother Earth, the ground, when you're grounding trees. I mean, water. It's just a gift. Um, I do. I have my air conditioner on. I don't call it the big names because I don't want to be recognized and I don't want to put myself in that group of, quote, the psychics, because then people start to read up and then they think that bear false witness, which I don't. Whenever I do my readings, I have done them. I've done thousands and thousands now for the last 10 years. I've been 100% right on all of them. Only one of them, I did a big reading on them for one reason, and that was with the Diana Alvarez case. And I was dealing with a narcissistic woman, and I did a reading on her right out on that front page because I had enough of her shit on my page. And I wasn't wrong. I was actually right with her. It was Nancy Viscarda, and all the stuff that she was saying. Um, I'm good, Bambi. The healing is usually the Reiki, and you can do that with crystals. Is the fan too loud? If the fan's too loud, I can turn it off, the air conditioner. I do have the air conditioner running in the back. If it's too loud, I can turn it off. Um, Whenever I do my readings, I like to go one on one with you, and I like to feel your energy. And then I like to pick up, what we need to pick up, rather it be, um, it's moving my curtains. It scares me at night sometimes too. And I forget because I have my air on, then I also have a fan. And I'll wake up and my curtain will be doing this. And I have to remember I've got a fan on. I should turn the volume up. That might help too. Is that better? My kid gets on here and plays her game. Um, Now you made me lose my train of thought. The nicotine, listen, I started smoking when I was 15 because I dealt with SA and I dealt with some things that were going on in my life a lot with my gift as well, then being bullied. And I had a really hard childhood. There's stuff in my childhood. I've talked about it on my Facebook. I've actually written a book about it on my Facebook. I've been through a lot in my life. I am like literally this mini lifetime movie. No, it's true though, Skippy. It's true. I've been smoking since I was 15, and that was a way to take out my stress. Um, Luckily, I don't do drugs. I've never done drugs. I did used to drink. Nah, I'm not a fall down drunk, but I didn't like it. Um, but to be a hardcore drunk, no, it wasn't like that neither. But because I had so much pain inside of me, I would drink until I would pass out. But I finally learned, I finally healed and learned, and I can drink now and be normal and social and be okay. But I started when I was 15, and it is a hard habit to break. It is a very hard habit. I mean, I'm almost 50. I haven't hit it yet, but I'm close. And I've been smoking since I was 15. I've put them down. I've been hypnotized. Tried cold turkey. Uh, did the patch, but I'm allergic to the patch. I'm allergic to the Nicorette. There's something in there that breaks me out or it makes my tongue swell. So I just sort of figured I watched a lot of people that have smoked for 30 and 40 years just one day put them down. So I sort of figured that's probably going to be me whenever my time comes and says, all right, you're done. That's probably when I will put them down. But right now, I don't see that happening. Not for a while, anyway. So it probably does help with stress. Um, Meditating. You asked a really good question, Julia. How do you re-energize after visiting with someone or being around someone ill? I just sleep, but I need some advice on what to do so I can stay awake. Now, yeah, ill or sick. Now, on those situations, you need to meditate. You also need to protect yourself with the crystals. I'm big into crystals and protecting because those are natural energy as well. They come from Mother Earth. Um, so you want to make sure that you stay protected at all times. Whenever you pick up on that energy that this person is sick, it's going to drain you because you have, quote, it's called, oh, they call them vampire drainers, is what they call them, energy drainers. Sometimes they drain you and you don't even know you're being drained. Sleep is a good way. Also, meditation, just clearing your mind. Sometimes taking a candle, just the candle lit, the candle wick, and staring into that and mesmerizing that candle wick, that also brings you back to um, your mind. But you've got to clear your mind to be able to refresh yourself. Mine actually is sleep as well. Whenever I'm drained, I'm drained. And I do have to get up and I do have to go take a nap. And that does help me re energize. Oh, Josephine, thank you. Now, that was just the tip of the iceberg. I've got stuff in my life that will, it's stuff in my life that's really, really hard. And eventually, I don't mind talking about it. I have spoken about it. And I will talk about it up here. I don't hide anything. I'm extremely transparent. I have healed from my past because it is a strong past. And it is a past full of pain and hurt, but it is also a past of learning and grabbing knowledge. Um, it can, but I mean, don't sit there and stare at it for 10 to 15, 20 minutes. You want to take that wick and get it in your third eye is really what you want to do. That's your mind's eye. You want to take that wick and you want to um, create that calmness inside of you. Um, 5 minutes at the most. Thank you, Skippy, because that is true. Thank you for that clarification. That helps. Um, 5 minutes at the most, and I don't mean just straight stare. I mean you stare, you blink, you stare, you blink, and you put that weight in your mind's eye. It helps with your mind's eye as well, but it also calms you. Um, Eventually, whenever I get going and everything, I don't mind sharing my life up here. I have absolutely no problem. I've done it before. I did it over on Facebook. So sharing my life, I have absolutely no problem. Skippy, where are you from? Tell us about you a little bit. Do you mind? Hey, stop child abuse. I just love your name so much. There you go. I know who you are. So my other thing, I think we got sidetracked. Were there any more questions? And then I'll get back into what I was talking about. Hi, child. Awesome, Skippy. Well, nice to meet you and welcome. Any more questions? Amen. That's what we're going to do. We are going to bring summer home. Now, like I said at the beginning of the live, I think that we need to get people involved. We need to create an army, especially of those who are against human trafficking, those who are against hurting children, those who are against seeing a child suffer. Um, we need to create this army so that we're able to fight it, because obviously the people that are supposed to help, their hands are tied and there's so much red tape. And I'm not saying get vigilante justice, but I am saying if we have to, as an army, come together to be able to save children, then that's what we're going to have to do. Um, because there's too many children going missing. Coast, not where's that from, Heather? North Coast Nacho. Yeah, let me know where you guys are from. Thank you, Debbie. And it's not just me, it's my team. I mean, sometimes we go 18 hours a day. There have been times we've gone 24 hours and our eyes are dragging and we've got to get some sleep. Then something happens. There's times that we have a slow day and it's like we're hitting a brick wall, and then all of a sudden we're right back on it. Um, it's been so emotional between us all, and I'm sure everybody out there as well. Um, I feel that um, we've got to do something because it is getting to be so it's emotional. It's emotionally draining, and we are tired. Going on 17 weeks, we are tired. North Carolina, Virginia, Texas, Ohio, Connecticut. Don't underestimate us, Skippy. We're going to bring her home. I don't think she's going to come home to a home, but she's going to come home, so that we can. Oh, Mama Baya, where are you from in Cali? I hope it's Malibu, because that's where I'm at. Michigan. Georgia. Iowa. Wow, you guys are all over. Thank you. Wow. I think that's close to Malibu. Get a little Barbie girl going. Tennessee. Wow. Yeah, I think I got quite a few Tennesseans right now on my Facebook. And the ones that I've came across that are on my Facebook are very good people. I mean, they're just as um they're just as worried as I am as a parent for this baby, and this baby has touched us deeply, deeply. And yeah, check my battery. Holy cow! I'm gonna have to get plugged in here. Um, I think a lot of us are. I think we can sort of resonate with Little Summer. A lot of us, you know, moms out there, probably guys too, where, aw, blonde haired, blue eyed little girl, just crazy wild. And my nickname is Wild Child. That's my nickname. I've been called that for a very long time. I was called that as a kid. I mean, that's either a wild child or mud pie, because I was a wild one growing up. So I think that a lot of us can resonate with this little girl, just her upbringing. I don't. When I sleep is when I relax, and that's a couple of hours. And I thank God I don't do drugs because I just don't think it would be good for me if I were to do drugs and not get no sleep. Um, it's soda and my cigarettes. So sometimes it's really hard to switch off. And that's my ADHD brain. I do have an ADHD brain. I am one that will, when I'm out for something to do something, I go out and I do it. That's just me. Um, can you bring me the charger for the computer, please? Thank you. My little one. Um, so I do go off topic a lot. I don't get medicine uh, for it. I was on it as a kid. Yeah, that's me. Soda in my spokes, and I'm good. Thank you. Hey, is there a spot back there to plug it in at? Hold up, hold up. Let's undo this here. Does this one belong to here? 'Cause I don't think the other one. If you have to unplug the light, that's fine. Because I don't have a thing. Here, just bend down behind me to get in there. Let's be careful. Uh, you got me plugged in? Yes. I know I'm here somewhere. There we go. I am plugged in. Thank you. Um, take your cat with you. Are you gonna come in here? All right. I miss some of you. Uh, thank you, Josephine. Soda, cigarettes, crystals, and candies. I don't know how you're gonna eat crystals, but I sort of live with my crystals. I'm Dr. Pepper. Oh, Julia. Well, I think we're going to find her. I can't read the bottom. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Um, Listen, if any of you guys have like a YouTube channel with videos, because I would like to go over there and support you guys as well, how you're supporting me and everything, I would love to do that. I think that that would be a nice thing to do to get you guys views and everything else. Go away. Nat, take him away.
That's my son.
He's getting all up in these wires.
That's my son.
There you go. Put him outside. And he's singing on top of it. Put him outside.
My poor baby.
He ain't your poor baby when he does what he does. Yep, he just knocked my light down. Thank you. That's why I don't like him in here. Yeah, can
Too
you?
bad. I'm just kidding.
Shh. Watch the mouth, please. I had one of the legs in there like that. Here we go. I guess that helps.
Bye.
All right. Oh, soap videos. One of my friends makes soaps. Funny that they can't knock down my light, Skippy, or that I've got 9 of them. And they think that they're kids and have to get into everything. That's probably a good idea, Julie, if you want to do a podcast. So we need to get back up on subject because I was trying to talk about summer. Now, what I was saying about summer is I don't think, deep in my heart, I don't think she's going to come home. Not come home as in alive. I do think she's going to be found and we're going to be able to give her a proper burial. It would be nice if she had to be able to bring her home to give her this proper burial. Because wherever she is at, she don't belong where she is at. She needs to be found. She needs to be found and she needs to be put to rest in this beautiful white casket and this beautiful white dress and beautiful, just being beautiful. And she needs to have a bench put there because she has become the world's baby. And it really breaks my heart that it's not international. I mean, I'm glad to see a lot from UK in here and stuff, but the only way that anybody is really getting any national attention is through YouTube. And I think there's something wrong with that. It needs to be out there in the world. It needs to be out there on TV stations where we're looking for this baby internationally. And I know she's not the only child, but I feel that this is Summer's legacy, and Summer is going to change some laws. That's my cat. Stop. Summer will change some laws. And that's why I'm fighting so hard for her, because this is about Summer. And it's always going to be about Summer. It shouldn't be about anybody fighting on YouTube or who's got the best story or who's got this or who's got that or who's fighting with who or who's fighting with them. It shouldn't be about any of that, or who's got the more views or whose YouTube channel is bigger or who's making money more. I can care less about any of that. God brought me in this world like this, and this is how God is going to take me out. Whether I'm broke or I'm rich, I'm going in the same place as everybody else, in a coffin in the ground. I can't take nothing with me when I go to heaven. Thank you, Mav. That's awesome. Is it Manatee County, Florida, or um, up there? As I know, there's an Anna Maria Island in Manatee County. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's very different. It is very difficult to legislate against toxic parenting. And yes, my children do have my gift as well. My daughter, hers is just as strong as mine, but she's just at that age right now where she sort of caps it a little bit. I go ahead and I influence her with it, but she's been met with a little bit of resistance on her gift. Uh, but if somebody is in need, or if somebody needs to talk their heart out or whatever, she's strong as well. And she just, God puts words in her mouth, and she just knows how to talk her friends, down from suicide. She's talked a couple of them down from suicide. She's a good kid. And most of my two of my kids have got my gift. Actually, three of them. They've got my gift. Yeah, I've. You know what? It's taking you ages to get on YouTube. I've had this YouTube channel, gosh, for years. I I started it whenever she was probably 3 or 4 years old, and she's getting ready to have a birthday here now. Um, and she's about 14, so it's about how long I've had my YouTube channel. But I don't really get on it. I mean, every now and then I will throw something on it, and it has to do with uh, ghosts or orbs or spiritual stuff, things like that. Uh, tell her not to fare. Kids are more kids are more open to the spirit world because they're closer to that feel, and their minds have not been tainted yet, warped yet by the world that, oh, you can't be like that, or oh, that's not true, or I'm a skeptic, or this, that, or whatnot. Um, I've had people that have been skeptic, and when I get done with them, or whenever I show them something, their eyes just come out of their heads, and they're like, "Whoa!" It's just things that they couldn't believe, and I've changed skeptics into believers. I never force my gift onto anybody. Never have I done it, and I never will. You come at me the way you believe, and I will leave you with the way I believe, and that's just how it works. Um, mine, mine, because we've been doing it, and that's how we are. She's 14 now, but if I say let's go on a ghost hunt, she's ready to go. She's ready to go. I mean, maybe on the other stuff she's sort of capped, but anything to do with ghost hunting, or going to capture apparitions, or getting orbs, or feeling people around her, spirits around her, she's ready. I don't even have to ask her twice. And my boys are the same way. We love to ghost hunt. That's one thing we love to do. Um, yeah, mine is the same way. She can hear and see them as well. You just gotta let her know. You just gotta let her know not to show no fear. Once she shows fear, is when it gets really hard. She can talk with them, and then you've got to teach her a tool how to pass them to the light. So if they start getting forceful with her, she has that power to put them into the light. Did she get life crime time? Yeah, she probably seen something or something probably scared her, and just give her time. Hi, Magmer. Well, I just really started using my spirit box here with the Summer Wells. Um, I do believe in poltergeist. I've seen it and I've been around it, the paranormal activity. Yes, I've got a lot of it. Yes, I 100% Josephine. Yes, all the time. You need to sage your spirit box. If you do use a spirit box, you need to make sure that you sage it because, um, yeah, don't cuss or anything because it just put that thing up there. So thank you. Um, because we keep everything positive on my life, so we don't do cuss or anything. Because I'm a very positive person and I like to keep people positive as well. Um, but I remember your question, but I forgot it. Saging. Yes, you must sage every time you open up your spirit box and close your spirit box. You must sage because you can get an entity that does come out of it. You're fine, Linda. Um, poltergeist and paranormal, they're one on one. Um, it can happen. Now, a lot of the YouTubes, they actually do fake it to get their views and whatever. There's a lot of fish line hooking up and things like that. Mine, I've never hooked up fish lines. Mine have been 100% authentic whenever it happens. Now, I haven't had a full blown poltergeist. I've had a succubus, actually an incubus, and that's where I learned how to bind. And it took a cousin of mine to come in to teach me how to bind. Um, I did have that. I've been around paranormal my whole life. It's just me. Things happen all the time. Um, oh yeah, I am extremely proud of all of my children. I think your Palo Santo is this here, and it works the same. That's Palo Santo, and it does protect. I also use cedar chips as well because cedar chips, the especially the demonic, they don't like the smell of cedar, and they don't like salt. Now, whenever you're dealing with spirits or entities, especially dark entities, you always want to use white salt or Himalayan salt. Himalayan salt, that's a salt that really relaxes you, but it's also a powerful salt that will rid negative energy around you. Um, Joshua or Jose? That's I've never heard that name. Joshua. I'll have to look into that. Now I can come up and do another spirit box session, but I sort of wanted to get back to um the summer because we totally got completely off track. If you see something, report it. If you see something that's not right or a child um don't look like they belong, or if they're fighting, or if they're being drugged. And I'm not talking your regular mom your regular mom dragging your child down the road. I'm not talking about that. That didn't sound right. Like at a grocery store, and they want to go down the toy aisle or the candy aisle, and mom says no. They take their hand, and then you have to take them away from it. Um, you've been dragging off track. What do you mean by that? Oh, Josephine, thank you. Oh, no, you're fine, Skippy. You're fine. I mean, asking questions is perfectly fine. That's how we get to know each other. And knowledge is always power anyway. Right there with you. I've got that ADHD brain. I will jump from subject to subject to another subject to another subject. I don't mean it, but eventually I will get it out because, I mean, my brain is all over the place. I'm not going to lie to you. And I got busy in here reading these comments. So, um, that day in question, like I was saying, I'm not gonna. Whenever you guys like get me off track and stuff, trust me, I'm not gonna be rude to you. And if you guys want to ask a question and I've already answered it and you ask it again, trust me, I'm not gonna joke down your throat. I won't. Um, I think knowledge is power, and asking a question that is the perfect way to learn how people really are and who they really are and what they are about, and you're able to fill them out as well and know if they're being honest or if they are not an honest person. So, I mean, if you've got questions, please ask them, and if I see it, I will answer it. You are right. If the children keep their heads down and the person has them real close and not allowed to speak, yes, keep an eye out for that as well. That's a really good way of spotting a child that it may be being abducted. If you hear a child screaming, that's picked up. Um, the Periwinkle case, I believe that's who it is. That one broke my heart. Um, how all of that happened, and just a trusting little girl, and this guy somehow got her out of um, the store. I think it's Periwinkle. I agree, Crime Time. Just like Dawn and his son on the TV, how how the son was looking down like he was too afraid to talk. I think it's Periwinkle. I think that whenever I saw that kidnapping and how it happened, and then I saw the story on it, she was a little bit older than my daughter at the time. And it is not that I'm a bad mom, but I do like to give a little bit of freedom to the kids, so they could go to the toy aisle as long as they would be with an older brother or whatever, and they would watch. So as soon as I saw that, I put a stop to it. I was like, no more toy aisle. Because I mean, I would be close. I would not be too far away. I'd be an aisle over, picking up bread or whatever, while they'll be over at the toy aisle looking and oohing and gawing, or getting cereal or whatever. Um, so, I mean, those are things that you really want to look for. And I think that periwinkle case, you see my ADHD brain, how it just worked. Um, that stopped me from a little bit of trust out there as well, where okay, she goes in the store, she wants to go to the toy aisle, and I tell her no. And she gets mad. She actually still wants to do it, but now it's the different aisle, and I tell her no, she's got to wait for me. And we will spend a X amount of time, maybe 10, 15 minutes in that area, and that will be it. If you want something, get it. If you don't, then we're moving on. And all right, Julia. Because it's just so easy to take a child. In a split second, a child can go missing, and usually the smaller ones are the easier children that just like that they go missing. Skippy, what's your theory? Go ahead, you're fine with your theory. Um, yeah, and sometimes even at home, you have to watch the kids. I know I've called CPS on somebody quite a few times. Um, and I've watched that person lie to CPS, and I've gone behind that person's back and said, look, they are lying. And I'm telling you, they are lying. I'm the one that called. I'm the one that witnessed this. I'm the one that took this child to this place. I saw everything. I heard everything. And you think it's one of the brothers skipping? Thank you, Josephine. As I was trying to get into that, I same. Now I don't think one of the brothers hurt her, um, but with the family dynamics that are in this family and outside of this family, um, I truly 100% believe that SA can happen between siblings. Um, do I think that the sibling accidentally hurt his sister for to cause her death? No, I don't. But I do agree that I do agree that that it can happen inside of the family. I mean, if we're being real, which we're being real, I grew up with it. I'm a victim of SA and incest, and I didn't come out until I was 40 years old about it. It's a Pandora's box that you don't touch. I mean, I'm healed from it. I've gone through the therapist. I've gone through everything that I needed to go through. I was actually just listening to Chasing Truth, and she was 100% spot on about SA victims. You don't go to one therapist or two therapists. You find the right therapist, which can take 10 to 15 different therapists to help you. 100% CD Perez, 100%. It's pretty obvious Little Summer was not being taken care of or watched. I feel some of these photos were staged photos, especially at a that watering hole, the Warriors Park, or I think it's Duck Pond or something like that, Warriors Park or something, where that evil cave is at. I think these photos are staged. In my theory and my belief of what I feel is that poor little Summer didn't have a life. She was a moneymaker. I feel that this child was a pawn. I feel that there was drugs involved. And I feel this child was used. She was exposed to certain things that a 5-year-old should not be exposed to. I believe she was groomed at a very young age. I think that for sale barrel is a big part of the problem. And they would go and meet up and do their business, and Little Summer would be paying the price. I do know for a fact in an area that I saw Donald Wells and Candace not too long ago. That is a trafficking ring. I'm getting cold. I do know that the Jose guy is involved in it. I do know that there are other people involved in it, and I think that Little Summer didn't have a chance. I feel that day that Summer came up missing was not the 15th. I think it was the 13th. And I think that she was handed off either for a debt that was owed, or she was handed off to be used as in an uncleanly way that a child should ever be used. Yes, that's the way I feel. Now, I don't have no sources. This is a part of what I've felt through the beginning. I gotta turn my air off, y'all. I'm sorry. There is I think what had happened is she was handed off. She was supposed to be handed back. And I think that whoever hurt Summer abused her and accidentally killed her on accident. I think that the Wells knew what had happened, and I think everything blew up. This is a small holler. From what I understand, the police don't really go up there. It's really one of the worst places that people go missing at if you don't agree with somebody. I think what had happened when it blew up and got big, the people that had Summer got scared. And now they have this child that was either, no, Kristen, I don't. That was either given as a drug debt and she was supposed to be handed back over, and she was not handed back over for the simple fact somebody had hurt her that bad, and now they have to get this story right. And I think that they took a couple of days so that everybody could get on board. I think that they want to make sure that everybody gets on board with this story. Yep. I do. I believe that she was dead before the day she came up missing. I believe when the story went big, these people called Dawn and said, hey, this is where you're going to find your daughter. And I think Candace also knew about it because she is not innocent. I have heard her on a live with me on 2 different lives, being totally different people, but it was her. Correct, Skippy. I feel that throughout my visions, like Bay Mountain and then the rest area, then Bulls Gap, and then also I can put that out there now, there was another rest area. I feel within all of that, because Don was communicating with me, and he was getting the word. And every time we got close, she was being moved. There was smell of decomp at a couple of the places. And then we go back and that decomp is gone. I do know for a fact from a source the day on the 17th, and I put that picture up on the 7th, August 7th. I put that picture up, and one of the people that was driving down Bulls Gap to give me a remote view of the area did see Donald Wells at that day at the Dollar General. I mean, he's a very distinctive looking man. You cannot miss him. They saw him buying the bleach, the Lysol, and paper towels. Now, my spirit box that I have that I've been using quote for this case is actually the only case I've ever used it for. And this was to help everybody else be able to hear what I was hearing, are things that I had seen in visions as well, and to give us a little bit more insight. When you hear the word being screamed bleach out of that box, it makes your skin crawl. And it told us exactly the items that Dawn had bought that day. Now, I did put that picture up. I did give that to TBI. I got in touch with a detective. I gave them that information. And it's gone. They lost that information. They didn't care. Why would he be in Bull's Gap while we were in Bull's Gap? And listen, I'm not going to put down Peachin. I'm not going to do it because they were the only ones that came when we were begging for help. We needed more people to go out there and look. We did have a lot of findings. There was a little bit of miscommunication, especially with the dog. I already had the dog up there. I had turned the dog was turned in to the Greenville Police Department, and it came up missing. But we do have an evidence paper, which I don't believe I need to put up here, but I do have an evidence paper where it was put into evidence with the Greenville Police Department. Now, what happened in Bull's Gap the day that PHN came out? That's because they went out there plucking a chicken. They were not playing. Like I've said before, they have their style and I have my style because we are more behind the scenes of working and they are more out there. So good for them and kudos for them. Even though there was some misunderstanding of what had happened that day, that's fine. And, you know, I think they are awesome people for what they have done. They are the only ones that jumped when we were getting doors slammed in our face. There is a lot that I believe. No, you're right. Now the spirit box did say that in that spirit box, Summer did say that that was her dog. Whether it's not or it was, we don't know. We were turning it in to have it ran for DNA, touch DNA, or whatever. That would have been nice. And let me see that because that is true. Yeah. And that is true. Don didn't like the spirit box, but he was all up on those lives listening to my spirit box. And that's true. And you know, exactly like being gifted. Being gifted, they don't want to listen to quote a person like me, but yet whenever I'm handing factual evidence, that's the problem right there. Now, maybe because maybe because I'm trying to figure out how to say it because I totally lost my train of thought. Now, yes, Stacy, he was all over my page, and there are some sick things that he was doing that he had did behind people's backs, and I've actually got that on audio what he had did. Dawn would listen to those spirit boxes because Summer was coming through, and she actually still does come through on the spirit box. And let me explain about a spirit. A spirit, whenever you hear a spirit come through the spirit box, that means that spirit is in a different realm. That means that that person is no longer earthbound. Child, person, adult, they are not earthbound. They have met a traumatic death, and they are in a purgatory, which is that second realm. And yes, that's a Catholic word, but they can't make it to heaven. They can't make it to hell. And Summer, being an innocent child, she can make it to heaven, but I think she is here right now until somebody solves her murder, because that's what has happened, is a murder. Don would freak out when he would hear his daughter's voice on that spirit box. I've heard Summer's voice and the spirit box voice. That 100% is Summer. Um, and we can do it again. We can do that on like another day, which is no problem. As I don't even know how long I've been on here. An hour and 36 minutes. I'm doing good, huh? I think she might have been a little anemic because of her skin tone. Um, I think she may have been a little bit anemic, maybe probably needing some vitamin D or something, more milk or, some vitamins or something. But sick, I don't think she was really sick that way. There's been quite a few people, Skippy, that has invented the spirit box. It's more or less like a white noise. Now your SB1 or your SB7, those are spirit boxes. I'll have to look them up. I can't tell you the name right now. But the SB7 is a very good spirit box, and the Necrophonic app is actually made after that, and that takes out the white noise, so you're able to hear the words go through. You have your regular SB7, and then you have the Necrophonic app, which is an SB7 equivalent. A lot of people do create spirit boxes, and it's a lot of white noise, and you're able to, it gives them a way to contact. I don't know if you ever saw the movie White Noise, how people would contact through the TV. And that's about how white noise works, where you're able to hear spirits. Now, me personally, a spirit can come up into my ear and I will hear it because I'm a clairaudient. So I can hear. It's not even a full message that you get. You will get a word or two, and that's all you will get. With a message box, you've got energy and you've got spirits that are in that realm that will try to connect, and they are using energy to be able to speak through the white noise. Yes, I have seen that picture. And like I've said, before, I don't think that picture belongs to that day. I think that that's from the Skittles and the drink from that day that was in that truck. Skittles will go off on your fingers whenever you're eating them or sucking on them. I think the kid just fell asleep on some milk. Because again, I think that picture is back in April or March. I do not feel that that is the day that baby went missing. There is a possibility that she could have been drugged, and it would be to keep her quiet while people were doing the things that they were probably doing to her. No, I don't think she was sick from the swim or the fall or drinking old soda. Because like I said, like I just explained myself, I don't think that photo is from that day. I just don't feel that photo belongs to that day. And I do think that it was planned from that day. That's okay, Kristen. Yeah, if you don't understand fully what a spirit box is, it can be very creepy. Some of the voices that do come through can creep you out. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of them creep me out, and you have to when you talk with these spirits, you have to let them know that you want no negativity. That's why you cleanse your spirit box and you keep it light. Um, you keeping it light in that realm. So one, you're not going to get an attachment, because you can get an attachment using this box, because you're opening up a spirit world. It's just like an Ouija board or a pendulum. I don't do a Ouija and I don't do pendulum. I do not do tarot cards, because you're dealing with dark magic whenever you are using these items, and people will agree to disagree with me on it. I do have an Ouija board experience when I was 18 years old, and I will never ever touch an Ouija board again. And this is before it went big, about Ouija boards. I grew up with an Ouija board in my house and would play with it by myself and watch the pendulum play around by itself. Um, it's very sad what this poor baby has been through. And I feel that the police are protecting Dawn and Candace. I really do. Correct, Skippy, which is correct. And what they have done is they're able to put it in this box and try to tone out some of that noise and able to hear some of them speak. Now, it's like you go into a graveyard and I, I don't even think you have to be a clairaudient. You just feel totally off and you're going to hear somebody say your name. You look back behind you and you're like, what the hell? And there's nobody there. That is a spirit trying to connect. Wait, what, Kristen? The spirit boxes? Yes. If you don't protect your spirit box, you have to, because entity, you're dealing with spirits, you're dealing with energy, you're dealing with people that have passed, that are trying to give a message. Um, it's just like here in the real world. You have you have you have good people and you have bad people. And it's just like in the realm, you have good and you have bad. You know, you could have a grumpy old 80-year-old man that was just completely vile his whole life here earthbound. Um, and then he passes, say a traumatic death, say 60 years old. And he passes a traumatic death. It's just traumatic, and he hasn't found his way to the light because of his evilness or whatever it may be. And now he's stuck over in this realm. Um, that person, that entity, that energy, it can make its way out into this world and create havoc for you if you don't protect. That's why you sage your box every time you open it and every time you close it. Because you don't want to bring out negative energy out of the box. Not everything is demonic. Everybody thinks when something moves or energy happens that it's demonic. It's not. Trust me, it's not. You just have people that have bad energy and you have people that have good energy. I think, like I said before, um, I don't think that they were aware that the sisters were going to file these charges, um, and that I think he thought that he was going to get away with whatever he's done to Summer. Uh, Skippy, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really checked into it, to be honest with you. Like I said, I haven't really used a spirit box except for this here. Now I've heard them, and I got the Necrophonic app to help others out to be able to hear what I've heard. I couldn't read that. I got a thing that came through, a notification. I agree, Kristen, that you're going to be hurt, that I'm kin to, and also clerk of court. I don't know who Sweetie Pilo is. I don't know who that is. But you have to be careful, because I do think that there are some that are involved over there. There are some LE. I think that there are good LEs over there, but I do feel that there are some over there that are involved and that are covering for Dawn in another system that has to do with human trafficking. Sorry, they're my group. Okay, and I believe everybody needs to be put in jail. Good night, Josephine. Thank you. Yeah, I think the person you're talking to, does he hold a seat? Because I know who this person is. I just don't want to say his name up here, but I do know that a person holds a seat. It does. It goes higher than LE without a doubt. Without a doubt, it goes higher than LE. It's gonna take, like I said before, it's gonna take big people to go in there, and U.S. Marshals or probably the FBI. And I'm not talking the FBI that's around, probably not even that's in Tennessee, because you don't know who is corrupt anymore. And that's why it's just so hard to even give any information to anybody, because when you give information to people or your higher ups, it backfires, it gets lost. And doing that, we've got children that are getting lost, that we know that were there. 100% we had an eye on them. Alice, that's why I am here, because I am making a plea with whoever, if they can pull strings, whatever they can do. I've reached out to Donald Trump. I've reached out to Trump Jr. I've reached out, quite a few. OUR, it does. It's a big ring, and there's so much money in it. Oh, I mean, if Chris wants to talk with me, that's fine. but I've sent two messages to him and I've gotten nothing back. And the other day I was on his live. I'm like, Chris, please get in touch with me so I can give him this viable information, this factual information, so we can get help, because I've read up on him that he's so invested in helping children and everything else. But yet, whenever I try to reach out to him, I get shut down. No, Randy, it's not a judge that went and threatened one of my people. But I mean, I'm sure that there are some on the bench that know about this trafficking. I just know that he holds a seat in a county and he went to a different county to let my team member know that he knows and more or less not to mess with his money. I understand, Randy. Um, that's why I said I don't think that it's a judge, because we know that the person that went to his house, or to their house, was not a judge. We do know that he holds a seat in a different county, and he went to a different county to sort of let my team member know that, hey, well, he wanted to, quote, join our team. And it's not that we don't let people in our team. It's we're tight with our team because there have been so many leaks. So we try not to let nobody in our team. We just let somebody in a few days ago and that totally blew up in our face. And we felt sorry for this person. And I wish we would have never have put this person in our team, because there was viable information in there. Luckily, we were smart enough to create a separate group to put her in so she didn't get the good parts. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people don't want to believe in a psychic. And look, I don't claim to be a psychic, I claim to be gifted. It's two completely different things. Um, and that's how I on my Facebook, yeah, it's got it there so people understand. But for all the years that people have known me, I call it a gift because that is exactly what it is. I am God's messenger. I listen to God. And it's a gift that I was born with. I know I probably bored you guys by now. No, I'm just a messenger. Stacy, we are all God's gift. That's the way I look at it. Every human that is breathing and every human that has breathed and passed on, to me, they are all gifts from God. We're just given a choice when we're here how we want to be, if we want to be good or if we want to be bad. I don't know. I don't even mix up with those people. I mean, I just, you know, I think I got a little irritated with how they are treating the SA. Yeah, it's all about finding this baby, and that's all it's going to be about. It's not about fighting with the YouTubers or anything. $100%, Kristen. And then I got a thing come through. At this point, I think everyone should listen loud and clear and work together and bring missing children and Summer home and get justice for people. I agree 100%. In need. I agree 100% because it's all about Summer, and I think Summer is going to be who changes the laws in Tennessee. And I think it's going to be Summer's law. And I think a lot of people, when we find this baby, or whoever finds this baby to bring her home, and that's involved in this cover up and everything else, I think a lot of people are going to go down. A lot of people. And I really hope that good people name it Summer's Law, that we can stop child trafficking, and we can stop, because I think this trafficking got exposed on accident for a reason. And we know we know that Summer led us to this place because it wasn't even on the radar. So we know Summer led us there that day. Yeah, they're probably going to go after me now. That's fine. And I'm sorry, but people need to understand that SA is real. And there are a lot of victims out there. I mean, I think this whole world, there is 7 million, I believe, people. I'm not for sure. There's probably more. But if you look at the statistics of females and males that are SA'd, 1 in 4. So you line up 10 of your friends that are female. 2 of those friends will become victims of SA or rape. That's how statistics are. They don't lie. You've got boys. About 3 years ago, it was 1 in 5, and we're probably now to 1 in 4 as well with the boys. Yeah, they are in. I understand that they are in another state. I agree that too. They should not be shaming at all. And I really hope he goes down for the SA charges. I just don't think they're going to make him up, especially when Summer went missing and the sister was at the place already saying, look, this is what happened to me. I haven't spoke about it, but this is what I fear. And for her to do that, that took a lot of courage and a lot of strength. I'm about to cry. Because in my eyes, she became Summer's hero that day. And she is Summer's hero. See, I'm about to cry because, it's just, that's the way I feel. Because if she didn't step up when she needed to step up for this little girl, no matter what has happened, if she didn't step up for this little girl when she did, the SA would never have been found, and I'm going to tell you right now, I believe an SA victim over a person that shows sign of much malevism. He's not even a psychopath. I believe he is beyond narcissist and psychopath. And I do believe he does have March villainism. I do. And I've been saying this for a while that that Summer will change how Tennessee is. She will. She will be the change. And I've been saying this for a while, and justice will be served for Jeannie, Trish, and Mary. I back them 100%. And the other survivors out there, I back them 100%. Um, I couldn't read that. I think all states there is. I don't think there's any statute of limitation of a minor, especially when it comes to rape or sexual abuse. I don't think that there is actually any limitations, state limitations. Once you file against an abuser, I think that you can get it. It does. It takes a long time because you blame yourself, and then you go through life, and even though you blame yourself, you think that that's what um, for me, that's what I thought love was this type of being sexually abused. So that's what I thought love was. And you become this victim over and over again because you have not healed from being a victim of sexual abuse or sexual assault or rape. Um, or SA, I'm sorry. I know people get triggered, and I'm sorry. I just, it's not that I don't have a heart, it's just I put it out there how it is. You have to fully heal, and it takes a long time. It took me the first time that I finally came out about me and let my skeletons come out of the closet. That was in 2005, 2006. That's actually whenever I got hypnotized and to quit smoking. And something happened, and I had to get my skeletons out of the closet to be able to heal, let alone the people that were involved that were minors, they needed to heal. So sorry. Um, I had to heal, but to be able to heal the minors as well. So when them skeletons came out, it was really the first time that I spoke about my sexual abuse, my SA, my incest. And let me tell you, when I finally spoke about it in 2006, I felt dirty. Dirty, but I knew it wasn't my fault, but I felt dirty. And it took me everything that I had to just throw it on the table. Like, this is me. This is what happened to me. And I couldn't break that cycle. And I did everything in my power to break that cycle, but it has happened. And now my skeletons, I'm giving you my skeletons. And that's what I did to the therapist. The therapist, if you haven't been, if they have not been in that situation and walked in the shoes that an SA person has been walking through, they cannot really heal you. They can give you coping skills to help you with your triggers. They can let you talk it out. They can let you do things, but you don't really heal. Um, I walked out of that place, the health center, and I lit up. Some dude was smoking a cigarette. I'm like, and I bummed a cigarette, and I hadn't smoked for 3 months, and I've been smoking ever since 2006. And I was hypnotized for a good 3 months, and I felt so good not smoking. But that's whenever my skeletons came out of my closet. I did go through a lot of therapy to try to heal, but they didn't understand those shoes. It was hard for them to walk in those shoes, especially if they hadn't been there. So even though I was trying to heal, I wasn't able to heal, but I got that pressure off of my chest, my childhood stuff, the skeletons in my closet. And it took me that long. It wasn't until 2011 when something else had happened. And even though my skeletons were out, I had to go through this healing process. And at that time, going through this healing process, I had to put minors in a crisis center to help them. And instead of keeping them in this program for 8 weeks, I kept them in this program for 16 weeks, giving them double power. And one of the therapists looked at me and she could tell. She's like, "You are so broken." She's like, I'm about to cry because it's always been about my kids. My life was lived and now I'm protecting my kids. I'm a mama bear. And she is like, you're so broken. And it's like she could she just connected to my heart. When she connected to my heart, she goes, "Look, for free of charge, I want you to come here at this time. And I'm going to take you on a journey. I'm going to help you." Because I did talk to her about hypnotism and things like that, but I had to find a way to be able to heal. And this lady I don't know, is like God sent her to me. She was a therapist. And she goes, I want you alone. And I only went to her one time, well, 2 times actually. And the first time, she took my biometrics and everything else. And she goes, the next time we come, I've got something special planned for you. And, it was iffy and everything. But okay, it's worth a try. And I went to this lady when I took my kids back that following week. Might as well say my kids. And I took them back the following week. So now you're getting a piece of me, my story. When I took them back that following week, she took me over to a different side. And she put me in the room. And she says, "Look, this is what I want you to do. I want you to clear your mind. I want you to clear your mind while we go through this. And I'm going to walk you through the way. And I'm going to hold your hand because what we're going to go through is going to be tough. But I promise you, you're going to walk out of there a new person. Get this cat out before he knocks everything down again. I already told you I don't want him in here. I love my cats to death. Look at him. But he's got to get all up in my wires. Thank you." So this lady, she had this little bell. And you can hear this bell. And I'm like, "Oh, Lord, I don't know what this lady is doing. But okay, let me just play along." And All of a sudden, my eyes were closed and they were heavy. Apparently, she hypnotized me, but I remember every moment that had happened. And she took me on this walk on this field. And I remember this walk that I had went on. It was such a dry walk. It was a gloomy walk. It was a walk where you just didn't want to be. The skies were dark. It was gloom. And she brought me to this cherry tree. And this cherry tree was a dead cherry tree. And then she told me to look down, and there would be this little girl. When I looked down and my eyes met this little girl, she looked up at me and she goes, "You left me behind." This little girl was my inner child, something that I lost when I was 3 years old. Whenever I turned around, this little girl, she grabbed my hand and we had to walk back out. But now this cherry tree was beautiful. It was just in such bloom and it smelled so good. And there was this beautiful field of jasmines. The skies opened up and it was beautiful. The clouds were lined golden. And we walked out and we walked back together. And this inner child had now to grow from 3 years old into a 40-year-old woman. Um, she had to bring herself back. Because you see, at 3 years old, I became a rape victim by my babysitter. I let myself go at 3 because that's when my rape happened. And I could never get over that brokenness inside of me. That's when my true healing began, when I found my inner child. And I brought her back with me, and she's been with me every step of the way while I healed. And she's never left my side. So you see, whenever you talk about an SA victim or a sexually abused victim, and you just push it off like nothing and sweep it under the carpet, mine for years was swept under the carpet. And it made me angry inside that nobody cared for me, that nobody believed me, and nobody loved me because it was swept under the carpet. And this is why when you talk about a victim and you dismiss the way that these ladies are being dismissed, it angers me when I hear another woman claim that they are an SA victim and they make jokes and they dismiss it. You don't just get over being SA'd. It takes years to come out and it takes years to heal. I am fully healed. I'm okay now. I am fully healed about what had happened to me. And I've made it my life process not to let it ever happen again to me or to my children, because I broke that circle of silence. Okay, so you guys now got a piece of me in my heart. Well, Don has actually apologized about it, and he has actually really admitted to abusing his sister. So, however you look at it, it's a done deal. He's already admitted it. Thank you, Heather. Yeah, I don't think there is any statutes of limitations. No, I don't think it will be treated as he is a minor. They would go back to whenever he was a minor. Um, they would probably go back to whenever he was a minor, and one was a minor, and the other one he actually wasn't a minor. He was 19 years old. The second time that this happened. Yeah, he was 19. No, that Don don't have no defense. He really don't. There really isn't a defense, and maybe as a minor they might slap his wrist, but with him being at 19 years old and still doing this, and then there are other victims, there's that pattern that is there. There is a pattern. So don't say that he stopped. He's probably, in his 50s now, and he's a man, and oh, I can get whoever I want to get with. So I'm sure I think there's more than seven, honestly. I think there's probably more. I personally feel that there are more women out there, and if they hear me or hear my voice or see this live, I hope they find the strength, and I hope they step forward to add to those seven, um, because they are not alone, and they are worth every moment of their life being here. They have a right to fight for what has been done to them. Don is beyond broken, or he claims that he is broken. Um, if you're out hurting people, you're not broken. You're just a bully. I had a conversation with Don, and I said the word broken, and his eyes got what? Like that. Like, then we got into correct, Queen Bee. And we got into this big conversation about being broken, and he thought that I was broken for Christ, and he didn't understand I'm not broken for Christ. you know um I'm healed in my life here, but with Christ, we're all going to go up there, and we're all going to be judged. And that's the thing that he didn't understand, whether we're broken or not, because it don't matter how many pieces we're broken into, we're able to heal down here. We're able to heal, and we can heal in the strength of Christ. I mean, you can heal. Where is she at? Okay, I got her. That's Jima. Okay, I think I just did it. Okay. Yes, Marcy. Where's Marsha? I remember that dog I had. Um, so I have been on here for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I have probably taken up a lot of y'all's time. It's only 10. I might get y'all's into bed early tonight. I suppose that I'm probably going to get yelled at and probably chewed out and probably all kinds of things. with what I'm saying here. And you know what? That's all right, because I believe in standing up for what is right. I believe in standing up and protecting women, even children, and men that have been abused. I'm a big advocate for it. And I am one that screams and hollers to fight for what is right. So if some of you guys have channels, just let me know. Shoot me an email or go on to Facebook and send me a message. And I would love to like you guys' channels, to give you guys a little bit of love over there as well. And if you guys can give me some love over here, that's fine. Look, I don't want to go big. I really don't. I don't want to be a popular YouTube artist. I don't want fame. I don't want anything like that. But I do want to try to hit 1,000, because hitting 1,000 means that I can use my phone and not use a big computer. So I don't think that he's going to sing like a canary. It would be nice if he would sing like a canary. I don't even think Candace will sing. I think they're both in it nose deep. They know exactly where Summer is at. They have been moving her. I think she's in a place right now where they're not going to move her. They can't get to her and move her for what they've done. I think I know exactly where she is at. It's just finding the right people and the right place, and to get people out there to go and look, without not having threats put on them, or anything. And no, it is not West Virginia. Like I said earlier, I lied, and that was to throw off all the other psychics. I lied about that. It's always been in Hawkins County, where I feel that Summer is at. And thank you. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Skippy. And hopefully someone does talk. It might be able, he might have to crack a deal with the SA victims. Hopefully the cops lie to him like they've lied over here in Hawkins County in Utah, and say, hey, you tell me this, tell me where your daughter is at, and you won't get this. And then as soon as this yeah, I was gonna cuss. As soon as that person sings, you put them matching bracelets on him and throw him away for life. Same with Miss Candace, because let me tell you, she is ornery and she is evil. And same with Grandis. They are evil, evil people. I've heard Candace by myself, and I had Donnie Donnie was on a live with me, and I have it on audio. And let me tell you, I'll just tell you right now, that woman came in there and slapped the living tar out of that man. I mean, slapped the crap out of him and said, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? And he said, my name, Dusty Albritton. So why are you talking to her? She knows everything. And then he goes and says, well, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. And she told that to Dawn. I thought she was talking to me, saying, I'm going to go to jail. Well, what the hell am I going to go to jail for? But she was actually telling Dawn that he is the one that's going to be going to jail. Then 2 days later, I get a phone call because we found a bin that had a dead chicken in it, in a bag covering up covering up the smell of decomp at the evil cave, or the evil, whatever you call it. It's that evil place that's out there. There's a picture with Summer in it. I forgot what it's called, but that night, we don't know how they knew that we were out there. That night, I got a phone call. Well, Candace on the other thing, and with Facebook, if they're not your friend, you're not going to get the call through. So I didn't get the call through, and all her message said to me is like, "What? You can't answer?" Like, to me, that's completely rude. Like, why are you even like that with me? What do you mean you can't answer? It would be like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I did try to call you. Could you add me as a friend, and I'll go ahead and I'll answer." But instead, okay. But instead, I didn't get it. So Donnie calls me, or he sends me a message. Thank you. Instead, Donnie sends me a message, and he's like, "Oh, guess what? We found a blue bin at the end of our driveway." I'm like, "Oh, really?" So I call him back. And let me tell you what I went through that day. Oh, I've already started it. So you're going to leave me with that thought. I know I got to let you guys off. So we can leave that story for another day. But I am going to put a disclaimer on this. Let me see what type of disclaimer I have to put on. Okay. I have to do a disclaimer that these are for entertainment purposes only. And if you guys can put that in caps for me there too, that it's for entertainment purposes only. Okay, I did that. So they can protect me. So that I'm protected. I can actually do another story another day, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But listen, if you guys could do me a favor, if you want to share me out or whatever you want to do, please do that. If you want to like me, I like me. If I not likable, don't like me, I mean, it's okay. It's all right. And thank you, crime time. So I will go ahead and I'll let you guys go. It is 10 o'clock. It is getting late. So I want to make sure that I do everything right. And we will do another one. And maybe I'll do a reading or something in the next couple of days. I do charge for those readings, though. So maybe I'll do that. Or you can do my Facebook. And I can get you on over there because I do go one-on-one with you to do a reading. All right, my friends, new friends, and family, because I call everybody my family. Much love to you all, and I hope you guys all have a good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.